Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Kimmel. NSA just leaked something that changes everything. Putin and Trump had 47 secret phone calls during the presidency. Nobody in the White House knew. And before we dive into this bombshell, let me say something. You're here on this channel, and that means you're part of something real. So do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button, not for everyone else watching, just for you. Because you understand what we're doing here. We're cutting through the lies, the cover-ups, the absolute insanity that passes for government these days. One click and you're in. You're part of this conversation. All right, let's get into what just happened. The National Security Agency just released 1,247 pages of classified transcripts. Phone calls between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin that bypassed every single official channel the U.S. government has. We're talking about a private communication system, Russian encryption, zero oversight, and it went on for 4 years. 47 calls, 47 times Trump picked up a phone and talked directly to the leader of our biggest adversary without anyone in his own government knowing about it. Now, here's where it gets really wild. These weren't just friendly chats between world leaders. These were coordination meetings, policy discussions, strategic planning sessions where Trump was essentially getting his marching orders from Moscow. The transcripts are devastating. In one call from March 2019, Putin tells Trump exactly how to handle the Mueller investigation. Word for word, Putin coaches him on what to say to the press. He literally gives Trump talking points about Russian interference being a hoax. And 3 days later, Trump uses those exact phrases at a press conference. In another call from June 2020, Putin warns Trump about the Biden problem. He tells him the election is going to be stolen unless Trump takes decisive action. And we all know what happened next, January 6th. The attempt to overturn the election. All of it starts with this conversation. But here's the part that's going to blow your mind. Putin was recording everything, every single call, not for partnership, for leverage. Russian intelligence has been building a blackmail file on Donald Trump since 2017. 4 years of the American president discussing classified information, revealing state secrets, and taking direct orders from a foreign adversary, all of it recorded, all of it sitting in Moscow right now. Think about what that means for national security. The president of the United States was compromised, completely compromised, and Putin has the tapes to prove it. Every conversation where Trump shared intelligence about NATO, every discussion about military operations, every moment where he revealed what our allies were thinking or planning, it's all in Russian hands. The NSA discovered these calls by accident. They were investigating a different security breach when they found traces of an encrypted Russian communication system being used inside the White House. When they dug deeper, they found the call logs, 47 connections between the Oval Office and the Kremlin that nobody in the U.S. government knew about. And when they finally cracked the encryption, when they got access to the transcripts, they realized they were looking at the biggest security breach in American history. Trump was essentially working as a Russian asset. Not officially, not intentionally maybe, but functionally that's what was happening. Putin would call, Trump would listen. And then U.S. policy would change to benefit Russian interests. The Ukraine aid that got delayed, the sanctions that got reduced, the NATO criticism that suddenly ramped up, all of it traces back to these phone calls. In one transcript from August 2019, Putin explicitly tells Trump to pressure Ukraine. He gives him specific talking points about corruption and the Bidens. 3 weeks later, Trump makes the call to Zelensky that eventually gets him impeached. But nobody knew Putin was behind it. In another call from December 2020, Putin tells Trump he needs to fight harder against the election results. He suggests specific legal strategies, specific states to challenge, specific claims to make about voting machines. And Trump follows the playbook exactly. We're watching a foreign adversary manipulate an American president in real time. But here's what makes this even worse. Trump knew he was being recorded. In several of the transcripts, you can see him asking Putin about operational security. He's worried about NSA surveillance. He's worried about Congress finding out, but he keeps making the calls anyway because Putin had something on him, something bigger than just these conversations.